Have you ever felt drained by someone who claims to care, but their actions say otherwise? You give your time, affection, and energy, yet you're left feeling unseen and unappreciated. As the famous philosopher Epictetus said, we are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. But what if it's not just your thoughts? What if some people are actually manipulating your emotions, downplaying your struggles, or being selfish in your relationships? It's time to face the hard truth. Recognizing these behaviors is the first step toward protecting your peace. Let's dive into how to spot the signs and take control of your emotional well-being. Number 1. Manipulating your emotions for control. When someone manipulates your emotions for control, the effects can be profoundly damaging. These individuals often disguise their actions as care or concern, but their true motive lies in undermining your emotional stability. They may guilt-trip you, making you feel selfish for prioritizing yourself, or use flattery to steer you toward decisions that benefit them more than you. Over time, this behavior can lead to self-doubt and make you question your instincts, as though your feelings are always wrong or misplaced. People who don't protect themselves from such manipulation often find themselves drained, unhappy, and stuck in cycles where their emotions are dictated by someone else's agenda. This isn't just an interpersonal issue, it's a psychological and philosophical one. Studies in psychology show that emotional manipulation often triggers heightened cortisol levels, the stress hormone, which can impair your ability to think clearly and make rational decisions. Dr. George Simon, a renowned psychologist specializing in manipulative behaviors, describes emotional manipulators as covert aggressive, meaning their control tactics are designed to look harmless on the surface but exert deep influence. From a Stoic perspective, Marcus Aurelius's famous words resonate here. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control others' actions, we can control how we perceive and respond to them, shielding our inner peace from their influence. If you suspect someone is manipulating your emotions, practical steps can help you reclaim control. First, cultivate awareness. Ask yourself, does this person consistently make me feel guilty or insecure? Journaling these interactions can help you identify patterns you might otherwise overlook. Second, practice emotional detachment by grounding yourself in logic. When you sense manipulation, take a moment to pause, breathe, and analyze the situation. Remind yourself that your feelings are valid and separate from the manipulator's intentions. Lastly, establish firm but respectful boundaries. Communicate clearly and stick to your decisions, even if the other person tries to make you feel bad for doing so. By understanding the motives and methods behind emotional manipulation and equipping yourself with tools to counter it, you protect your emotional independence and reclaim the power to direct your own life. Number 2, downplaying your struggles. When someone consistently downplays your struggles, it can leave you feeling invisible and unsupported. These individuals often dismiss your challenges as minor or irrelevant, suggesting that you're overreacting or being overly sensitive. Instead of offering understanding or compassion, they may deflect attention back to themselves or minimize your pain with phrases like, "It's not that big of a deal," or "You'll get over it." People subjected to such behavior often internalize the belief that their problems aren't worth addressing, leading to feelings of isolation and diminished self-worth. Research highlights the detrimental effects of invalidating others' emotions. According to a study published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology, emotional invalidation can contribute to anxiety and depression, particularly in close relationships. The Stoics, too, had much to say about the importance of understanding others' pain. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." This Stoic wisdom teaches us that while we should hold ourselves accountable for managing adversity, we must extend empathy and patience to others. Downplaying someone's struggles only undermines the mutual respect and support that relationships need to thrive. To deal with people who downplay your struggles, focus on clear and assertive communication. When someone dismisses your feelings, calmly reassert their validity by saying, "This is important to me and I'd appreciate your understanding." Avoid getting defensive. Instead, remain composed and express yourself with clarity. If the dismissive behavior persists, reconsider the depth of the relationship and whether it aligns with your emotional well-being. In addition, build a strong network of supportive individuals who acknowledge your experiences and validate your emotions. Surrounding yourself with people who genuinely care can counteract the negativity from those who don't. By standing firm in your self-worth and not allowing others to diminish your struggles, you reinforce your resilience and create an environment where your challenges are treated with the respect they deserve. Number 3. Selfishness in relationships. When someone exhibits selfishness in a relationship, it becomes glaringly apparent over time. These individuals consistently prioritize their needs, desires, and comforts above yours. They may take without giving, demand attention without reciprocation, or conveniently disappear when you need them most. Their actions often leave you feeling drained and undervalued, as though the relationship revolves entirely around their benefit. Over time, such dynamics can erode trust and create an emotional imbalance, making you question your importance in the connection. Research in social psychology underscores the harmful effects of selfishness in relationships. Studies have shown that equitable relationships, where both parties give and take fairly, are critical for emotional satisfaction. In contrast, one-sided relationships often lead to feelings of resentment and dissatisfaction. Philosophically, the Stoics believed in the concept of sympatheia, the interconnectedness of all people. They emphasize the importance of contributing to the common good rather than acting solely in self-interest. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "What is not good for the swarm is not good for the bee." Selfishness, therefore, not only disrupts harmony in relationships, but also conflicts with the principles of living a meaningful life. If you find yourself dealing with a selfish individual, it's essential to set boundaries. Start by recognizing patterns of behavior. Are they consistently taking more than they give? Address the issue by communicating your needs openly but assertively. For example, you might say, "I value this relationship, but I've noticed that I'm often left feeling unsupported. Can we work on finding more balance?" While their response can reveal their willingness to change, remember that actions speak louder than words. Practically, it's important to cultivate your own independence and not over-extra-rely on selfish individuals for emotional or material support. Seek out relationships where mutual respect and effort are foundational. By setting clear boundaries and valuing yourself, you protect your emotional health and create space for connections that are genuinely reciprocal. In doing so, you reinforce a life aligned with Stoic principles, one where mutual care and shared effort are the pillars of your interactions. Number 4, the absence of empathy. When someone lacks empathy, it's not always immediately evident, but over time, their inability to understand or care about your emotions becomes undeniable. These individuals are indifferent to your joys, struggles, or pain. They may dismiss your feelings as overreactions or fail to offer any comfort when you're vulnerable. Instead of meeting you with understanding, they often come across as cold, detached, or self-absorbed. This absence of empathy can make you feel invisible, as if your emotions hold no value. Being around such people leaves you questioning whether they genuinely care about you at all. Scientific studies highlight the critical role empathy plays in fostering meaningful relationships. Neuroscience research shows that empathetic individuals activate mirror neurons in their brains, enabling them to feel and respond to the emotions of others. On the other hand, a lack of empathy often correlates with narcissistic tendencies or emotional detachment. Empathy is also central to moral philosophies like Stoicism, where thinkers like Epictetus emphasized the importance of understanding and connecting with others. The Stoics believed that by putting ourselves in someone else's position, we could better navigate relationships and contribute to the collective good. As Seneca wrote, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." If you find yourself dealing with someone who lacks empathy, it's important to evaluate the dynamics of the relationship. Are they consistently invalidating your emotions? If so, express how their behavior affects you, using statements like, "When my feelings are dismissed, I feel unheard and disconnected." While it's possible for some people to grow in empathy, others may remain unwilling or incapable of change. In practical terms, prioritize relationships where empathy and mutual understanding thrive. Surround yourself with people who actively listen and show concern for your well-being. Meanwhile, cultivate your own empathy by practicing active listening and showing compassion to others. This not only enriches your relationships, but also aligns with Stoic ideals of unity and shared humanity. Ultimately, protecting yourself from those who lack empathy helps you maintain emotional balance and build connections rooted in mutual care and respect. We're almost done with this video, but before you move on, I want you to reflect on your life. Are you going to stay stuck, feeling drained and defeated? Or are you ready to take charge and transform your future? If you're ready to make that change, I want you to make a commitment. Drop a comment below and say, "I am determined to live my best life no matter the obstacles. I will succeed." I'll be reading through all your comments and I'll feature the most inspiring one on our channel. If you want more life-changing content, make sure to hit that subscribe button.